We have just learned that the verdict is...
Hey, everyone. We're coming on the air with breaking news. A verdict has been reached in former President Donald Trump's New York criminal trial.
We start in the U.S., where Donald Trump has been found guilty on all counts in his hush money trial.
A presidential candidate found guilty on 34 counts is clearly unlike anything we've ever seen.
How say you to the first count of the indictment charging Donald J. Trump with the crime of falsifying business records in the first degree? Guilty or not guilty? Juror number 1, guilty. How say you to count 2? Guilty. How say you to count 3? Guilty. How say you to count 4? Guilty. How say you to count 5? Guilty. How say you to count 6? Guilty. How say you to count 7? Guilty. How say you to count 8? Guilty.
2,000 years later.
How say you to count 34? Guilty.
So I'm going to say something you've never, ever heard me say before.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Donald John Trump.
Don't choke.
Is a convicted felon.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Now, yesterday, a New York jury found him guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in order to hide a sex scandal that would hurt his 2016 presidential campaign, and that's what the problem was.
We do not care.
The crime.
That's why he was in court, because he did that. He did that. And then, of course, he played the victim outside of the courtroom. Take a look.
This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. This was done by the Biden administration. We will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
You'd have to read it first.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
He was in that courtroom because of what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
And those jurors were chosen by both sides.
Yes, they were.
Right.
He was convicted here in New York because New York brought him to trial. This was not a Biden thing.
So that was a lie.
What was your reaction?
Well, my reaction was I was at Costco buying, 10 boxes of Keurig coffee, and my watch started to buzz, and I got so excited I started leaking a little bit.
What?
So you're the leaker?
I'm the leaker.
What?
Everything's rigged, according to him. Excuse me, Donald, it's not rigged, okay?
Yeah.
It's not rigged. Okay, that was
So what was y'all's reaction?
My first thought, honestly, was I feared for the safety of the judge and the jury, and I hoped that they had security. We live in a moment of political, violent rhetoric that I think is very dangerous.
Oh, shut up, Utah.
I really felt and still feel like I'm in a surrealist Fellini movie. Is this really happening? And I was schizophrenic because part of me was like, yay! And part of me was like, you know what? This is really serious. Yay! This is really serious. Now, this is a man, yay! This is a man who made my life a living hell for 4 years, has made the life of our country a living hell for 6 years, and so he deserves to be accountable. He has been Teflon Don his entire life.
Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
Something punched me in my chest, and it wasn't because, this isn't a binary reaction. It's not because I'm sad or happy. It was so somber and sober to get that news, because we're living in a country where we have a former president, convicted, who's also running for office. And it also reminded me of, I was scared because I thought of how kind of violent things have been happening politically and otherwise. People are dangerous with their speech. There's a lot of stuff going on. The country is divided. Not everyone sees this ruling the same way.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
Try to explain to your child that someone who could not vote in this country because they are a convict could run and rule the country.
I felt like the Knicks won the tournament.
like America won.
Yep.
I felt like New York won. I felt like the Manhattan DA's office won. I felt like I won.
First of all, you need to quit lying.